are there certain breeds that make better personal protection dogs?
For me, I would say the German Shepherd, the Belgian Malinois, and the Dutch Shepherd. I think those would be my 3 top dogs that are able to do a variety of different things when it comes to law enforcement and military.
Hold on, let's say that again. You said Malinois.
Belgian Malinois.
It's a Malinois.
Belgian Malinois.
No, you said no Malinois.
Malinois. I'm sorry.
Okay, look, just say Belgian Shepherd.
Yeah.
I just said Belgian.
I told y'all.
Hey, my boy, hey, he said exactly how you supposed to spell it.
Yeah.
Malinois. My name is Paul Freeney from Houston, Texas. Been training dogs for about 13 years. Well, I was always an animal person. And I can always remember it was like seeing the police dogs doing bite work, and it was like, man, how did they get those dogs to do that type of stuff like that? So I was already interested, and when I graduated from college, I went to the feed store, saw a card, a guy advertising his training services. His name is Wade Ford. He trained my dog, and I learned from him, and then the rest is history.
My name is Anthony Seymour. I'm a professional dog trainer. The name of my company is Seymour's K9 Training. Everything comes from you, Greg.
My name is Brady Hines. I'm a trainer, Cut City K9. Been training for about 11 years now. I got started training dogs because I went to get a dog of mine trained by Greg Laws, which is my mentor now. And I grew fond of what I was seeing out there, so I just started asking him for mentorship, and I started training ever since then.
There you go. There you go. From the back, stroke him. Get him calm.
Good boy.
Don't let him turn.
Good boy. Good boy.
I got it. Tell him I got it. It's in my truck.
Good
He's
boy.
in his ready to in the
Good boy. Good boy. Good boy, Marty.
Stroke him nice and gentle.
Good boy.
Yeah, nice and gentle. There you go. He's punching.
Good boy. Good boy.
There we go. So on this one, he'll get ready to just choke him off for me. Choke him off. Choke him off.
In the middle.
Choke him off.
Want this, Ray?
You gotta push. There you go. How you working, bro? You gotta put some power in it, buddy.
See, bro.
All right, so we're going to get right into it. The first question that we have is, what is a protection dog? Like, what is a protection dog? What's your opinion?
My opinion of a protection dog is it's just a well-rounded dog, okay? I used to have a saying that I like my dogs like the people I like to hang around, okay? I don't want to hang around people that's loose cannons and always getting us in trouble. Same thing for my dog, okay? I want my dog to be, cool, calm, and collected around people, not overly friendly, wanting pets and things like that, but strong enough in character to recognize a threat. And then once the fight is over, it's over. Okay, so it's a perfect balance for me.
So is it like, cause you said you want it, so you said not overly friendly, so you want it friendly to a level, to a degree, or
Well, like sociable, tolerant.
okay,
It could be around people, but not just looking to get belly rubs and things like that. Okay, and it can be around people, but not just trying to necessarily attack everybody they see because that's a liability.
how you fellas feel on that?
I agree with what he said. Kind of like how I look at it is, kind of want a dog that you can have like a light switch. You can turn them on and off.
Got you. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, so I think we all like the same type of dog. I think we like the same type of dog.
Right.
Dog that you can take different places. At the same time, he can be explosive when it's time to protect. He can do it.
Yeah.
But I like a dog. I can bring my dog. I can bring him around kids and people. He's not trying to bite everybody. When it's time to work, he's gonna do his job.
Yeah, it's like almost if you have a dog that is not balanced like that, you can't enjoy it.
No. Unbalanced
Exactly.
dogs get you, serious.
It gets you in a lot of trouble. Like I said, it's a liability. It's you walk around with a loose cannon. You never know when he's gonna get in trouble. If he bites somebody at your home, now you got a homeowners association coming after you. So the best bet is to have a well balanced dog, not just one dimensional. Always want to bite. Okay.
So do you feel like it's a high liability having a protection dog? How you feel about that?
I think if it's in the wrong hands, people that don't really know about dogs, yeah, it could be very damaging because they can't control dogs like that. We as trainers and deal with dogs all the time. We know how to deal with those particular dogs, and you definitely need to have them well trained to be able. You can go in any environment with the dog, and and the dog listen and do what he's told.
Do y'all feel like it's levels to protection dogs?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's different levels where it all depends on the person. To me, like you might have, like what we were speaking of earlier, what I kind of consider more of a family protection dog, whereas you might have a personal protection dog that's just specific for one person. And those are more, to me, like a junkyard dog kind of per se, because like can't nobody approach those dogs. Like they're trained to where it's just only one person can approach them and they go off on anything moving.
Is that a genetic disposition? Do you feel like
No, I don't think
every
it's a
dog can be
genetic
a family protection dog, and can every dog be that personal protection dog? Does every dog have to make up for that?
It's like I said, it's different levels as far as the characteristics, as far as if they're stable or not. But like to go back to the last statement that Grady made, it's important that you label it like he labeled. If you start talking about T1, T2s, T3s,
What do you mean by that?
Different protection companies and things like that, they'll coin a term for a level of protection. Okay, maybe my tier 1 dog or tier 3 dog or whatever things.
Okay, tiers.
Yeah, but or level 2, level 3, level 4.
Okay.
They coin these terms to put definition on dogs to set them at different ranges. But for me,
You mean price ranges?
yeah, for different price ranges.
Okay.
But like for me, it's just like it just all boils down to either can a dog do it or can he, or what type of characteristics does he have? Like Grady said, some dogs can be family dogs, meaning they're just open, cool, calm, collected, and they're a little bit more inviting. Okay, you can have strangers over and things like that, and they can still recognize the threat. But you can have a dog that's just only like a one-man dog, one-person dog, and he really don't care for nobody else. So you can have those things, or you can have like a green dog who has some type of foundation. But just to say that I have like a level 3, level 4, like all that's subjective. Like what does it entail?
What does that really mean?
Yeah, what is it? Like does a dog does he bite, or does he just bark just to deter somebody? Okay, so it's a slippery slope when you're talking about that.
Okay. See, like he was saying, it's kind of gets tricky because they set different levels for the different prices, and so with that, they level 1 it might just bite the sleeve.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They level 1 might just bite the sleeve. Then when you get all the way up to the level 4, that might be the quote unquote dog that's on the hidden sleeve.
Okay.
Right,
Okay,
but
I see what
the
you're
thing
saying.
is, so that is true. But like, instead of just saying that, just say, hey, he has some bite foundation. He's on a sleeve, or he's on a suit, or he might needs a little bit of defense, but he has all the necessary drives and things. Just say it like that. Just keep it, just plain and simple. But when you started like coining these terms, you know, like for example, like anybody can have like a dog training company that starts with the letter C, okay? But then you can put classifications on their dog. A C3 dog, C2. And like Grady says, his C1 dog only bites the sleeve. You see?
Yeah.
His C4 dog is more of a complete dog.
So is that dog
But
still
they
a
say,
protection dog?
that's what I was about to say, but they still gonna say that that's a protection dog.
And truly, they're going to say, because that's important, protection. But somebody's more likely to buy a tier 1 protection dog. They only bite sleeves because you're saying tier 1 protection. Versus saying, you know what, I have a dog, but he only on a sleeve. It sounds different, and you might not get as much money.
Another thing, I'm going back to what he was saying, but I'm gonna hit on a few points. See, when you're training dogs with equipment, then they become equipment oriented.
Right.
Nobody's gonna break in your house with no sleeve on.
Right.
You know, nobody's gonna break in your house with a sleeve on. So that's why we like to do a lot of civil also. You know, a dog should bite whether you have a sleeve or not, or bite suit or not.
Okay.
If he's gonna be a protection dog, because no one's gonna break in your house, man, with no suit on or no sleeve.
So going back what Grady said, Grady said either it's a family protection dog or a personal protection dog. So that might be the best way to kind of categorize it.
Yeah, I would agree.
Because if you do tier 1 through 4, this dog bites the sleeve, but nobody's coming through your window with a sleeve on. Right. So then that really wouldn't qualify as a protection dog.
So it's a little misleading on it. It's a little misleading on that end, just to label it as a protection dog.
Yeah.
Okay. So like I say, it's just a bunch of different terms people coin just to kind of make money off of.
Yeah.
And things like that.
Okay, so moving on to something a little lighter.
Okay, yeah. Right.
What breeds would you think would work best in this day and time as a protection dog?
It's a lot of, different breeds that can do protection work, but I would prefer, for me, is a Belgian Malinois, or a Dutch Shepherd, or a German Shepherd. For me.
What makes you lean towards those breeds?
I think for me, because the endurance, the ability, the drive, a dog that's capable of getting the job done,
Okay.
For me, that's the breed I would prefer. I guess I'm trying to sum it up.
For me, it's I just like a good solid dog, because you can take some of the so-called best breeds, and then you'll see some kind of dogs with flaws and things like that, and you can see some of the people who pick the worst breeds, some dogs that stand out. Okay, so for me, it's just really a dog with good balance, nice drive. Okay, that really enjoys doing what he's doing, doesn't take anything too personal. Because like I say, if I had it just my way, had a lot of land and stuff like that, I just have a bunch of different breeds of good solid dogs.
Yeah.
Okay. So
to you, it's not so much the breed. Sometimes it's just a dog in front of you.
Yeah, it's just the dog in front. Because the thing is, you can say I like this breed, but then you can spend so long trying to find that puppy in that breed that suits your needs. Then you have other dogs just right here. That's that dog for you. You see? But like I said, everybody's different. That what makes everybody unique, because we all have our own different wants, needs, and likes. So that's just what I prefer.
Yeah, like myself, I like Rottweiler, and it's because the Shepherds have too much energy for me. But most of them don't really cut off. Like I need a dog to cut off a little quicker.
Right.
And so I need a dog that's gonna be lazy when I'm lazy, and a dog that will get up when I get up. And I find the Rottweiler is kind of best suits that. This Houston heat kind of kills a Rottweiler though.
Right, for sure.
But you get what I'm saying?
Nah,
So those are some of the reasons.
That's kind of like the same balance with me with my pit bulls and my Malinois. My Malinois is always on the go. nonstop. Like you say with the Rottweiler, you know, it know how to chill and be conservative with its energy and its heat and stuff like that. But a male is on the go. Pit bull is gonna go to the shade, lay down, chill. But when you ready to go, it's ready to go.
He's ready to go. Right.
So he's always trying to find that lifestyle balance with the dog.
Right.
Right. Whatever really suits the specific person that's getting the dog. They have the dog.
So that makes a big difference. I mean, it makes a lot. Like that's how you
like,
know what breed you should go to based
like,
on you.
It's some places that I go, I have my Belgian Shepherd. Some places I go, I have my Pit Bull.
Right.
Just all depends on where I'm going, and me having the mindset of knowing that, you know, that's how I'm able to decipher which dog is gonna suit whichever situation I'm about to go in.
What age should a person start working their puppies at?
For me, I just got to say that as soon as the puppy's able to eat from your hand, you should start some type of training, some type of foundation. Okay, and it starts from right then and there.
So what do you mean by foundation? Just a little nugget or something?
Like for example, far as like if I have food and I'm doing like some luring, I want the dog to understand how to follow a lure and let me manipulate his body into different positions and things like that.
Okay, so you starting that from the foundation soon?
Yeah, and how to take the treat from my hand. Some puppies come with those shark teeth and just will tear your hands up. Okay, then you gotta deliver it a different way to show them how to take it a little bit more gently. Yeah. So it's definitely a process, and especially exposing them to different environments.
Okay.
Right. So socialization and all that stuff is so important. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you could have went on. Go ahead, Bob.
It's so important to socialize puppies and environmental, get them used to sound and noise and around. Sometimes you can keep a dog isolated. Sometimes you can keep a dog isolated. All his life he's in the backyard, and some people they'll get it mixed up thinking that the dog have nerve issues, but it could be a lack of socialization and environmental. You know, not necessarily that the dog is skittish. It's just you had him in his. You've had the dog in the backyard he's 2 years old, and then you bring him out, and perhaps you walking and you walk past a trash can and the dog get jumpy and everything, because that's a lack of environmental and environmental.
Yeah, see, like a lot of times we might have people ask us like, why are our dogs advanced the way they are? Cause like our dog can be like he's saying 2 years old, and somebody can bring us their dog at 2 years old, and they're wondering why our dog is more advanced. Because like he said, we've been working on our pup since 6 weeks old, so we've been socializing them since 6 weeks old. We've been taking them places, but like Tone just said, somebody else, their dog been locked in the backyard, haven't seen nothing for 2 years. Whereas our dog been exposed to environmental socialization, slippery floors, different things, to whereas they still got to start with the foundation that we already imprinted in our dogs from pups.
A lot of dogs will show like the confidence in the backyard, or they'll show you a way that they are in the backyard, and you'll think that this personality is ingrained in them. But as soon as you go in the front yard, they're completely different dogs.
Right. And then me and Grady, like every year, we probably caught each other around 4th of July.
4th of July or New Year's. We be saying like, well, it's going to be a bunch of stray dogs running around.
Because they'll get out the people's yards, get scared because people don't expose their dogs to different sounds and stuff like that. So these first times they hit these fireworks, they're gone over the fence, digging holes.
Yeah, then they're not going to stop running till they get away from the sound. So they just going to keep running.
Keep running.
See, like what I do, I take advantage of that. I go outside and I train.
You're doing something else. You're creating another association so you can desensitize the dog to being afraid of that.
Right. Exactly. And in reality, when people try to do it, if done right, the dog will start looking forward to rewards and stuff with loud noises appear out of nowhere, where different stresses come. Instead of shutting down and shaking, they'll look for you for confirmation. Okay?
And I was
let me get bit by the waltz toe. You just looking, they said nothing,
Hey,
man.
I
get
just
bit by the wall.
Well, hey,
Right?
Tone,
You get
Tone,
bit
he
by-
gonna stay in
Hey.
character.
I was getting ready to. I was wondering, like, man, what's wrong with him? And then I see.
But I was you said around like 6 weeks old you start working the dog, right? Or the puppy. So I was thinking as y'all was saying that it's like it creates a relationship too.
Absolutely.
It creates a relationship and a bond. But see, like I say, that's the plus for us because we trainers. We can start working our pups at 6 weeks old. I wouldn't, tell another person because they don't know what they're doing. But it's not good to take your pup out until after your pup has had all the shots.
Yeah.
So therefore, their pup gonna be older than our pups.
Yeah.
So we still already have a head start on a lot of the outside people.
Yeah. As far as the dogs advancing faster.
Right.
Yeah. Cause they're gonna still be watching TV or watching YouTube, watching TikTok, trying to figure out what to do.
Hitting at the dog with the newspaper because it's biting on something.
Yeah.
And then you say you want protection work, but you hitting on the dog for biting on something.
And that's my biggest
That's a good
thing.
point.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing right there. Like, and I would say dog training is pretty easy, but it's working with the owners,
Yeah.
trying to teach them a new skill set. That's a little bit of a challenge because a lot of time people don't really understand that not only this is an investment, but this is something that you have to do daily. Okay. Training, you just don't say, oh, let me just train for 5 or 10 minutes out of the day and then let the dog be the dog for the majority of the day. That's not how it works, and then you have to like set a criteria and stay to that because dogs, like especially the puppies, they're just like kids, For us that teacher, they understand that strict teacher in school, they're gonna go in that classroom and do exactly what they're supposed to do. Then they have that teacher that's a little bit lenient and can't really have control of the class, totally different outcome. Kid might be coming late to class, not have some respect. Now, when those two teachers come together and talk, oh no, he's a wonderful student. Oh no, he's a horrible student. No, because you guys require two different things. Okay, so if the pet owners would stick to that routine, things would be okay. But oftentimes they'll stick to it for a couple of days, maybe a week or two, and then they'll fall off. Okay.
And I always say, I tell people all the time, 95% of dog training, 95% of it is training the owner. They don't, you have to really spend that quality time with the owner and going over things with them.
Like how important is the handler in protection?
I was gonna say it's super important because that's the bond that they have to build because they're a team. They gotta work as a team, and you gotta have that bond with your dog so he'll work for you. He gotta be willing to die for you. A protection dog is also a dog that might help you get to what you really need to save your life. So you want a dog that's willing to go to battle for you, no matter what. That's why we were saying with the loud sounds, because eventually in training, we go to shooting guns. So a dog got to be able to run through gunfire, be willing to go through a bullet to get to whatever its target is, in order to protect whoever his owner is. So if you don't have no bond with your dog, he not gonna be willing to do none of that for you.
And then, like you say, the bond is important too, because the thing is, if you're too hard on your dog and you got a heavy hand and things like that, and then your dog's a little handle sensitive, yeah, he's gonna shut down. If he's on a bite and things like that, he's not gonna be worried about being on a bite. He's gonna be worried about you coming up to him, whacking him over the head or something like that. Okay. And then on the other side too is it's important for you to, bond with the dog and things like that. Take them out to different environments, expose them to people. Do that together, because if the dog doesn't have enough experience being around people, how do you expect the dog to go bite something that he's scared of?
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Can you explain what you mean by handler sensitive?
So handler sensitive meaning like some people might give a correction on a pinch collar, boom, be physical.
Collar, e-collar.
Yeah, they create like a little panic. They're too hard with the pins. They're too hard with the e-collar. Every time they run it up, out, and then they're rushing the dog, they're pressing on that button and things like that. So now you're creating an issue, creating a little avoidance behavior in the dog. While the dog is on the bite, now he's worried from all the other times where he got fried with the e-collar or he got like yanked and choked off the bite. When is that coming? So now you're making this experience not so fun because I have association. When I'm biting, this normally happens. This normally happens, okay? So that's what I mean by handling.
And then another, just some little simple thing. Sometimes you can just be approaching the dog, yelling, stomping your feet, and the dog will submit because you hovering over him, and you know you making yourself bigger and you trying to be dominant to him. So now when you approach him, he looking at that as a threat. So that's why it's kind of good to just always stay calm.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, cause basically, especially like new puppy owners.
Yeah.
Like they like always hovering over the dog and things like that. And if you hovering over him, it just like give this type of effect. Like, why are you over me? I can't focus on what I need to do. So then, like you say, every time it can happen in bite work or eating or obedience. You know, if you're doing something wrong and you're hovering over him, and
you pointing and yelling and no and just yelling and now the dog he's
submissive.
The dog to get
so you gotta be real disciplined to come out with a good product.
And it causes the dog to get submissive.
You have to be real neutral, especially during obedience with younger dogs. If they do something that doesn't meet your expectation, you can't move quickly with your body and like tense up and then go straight to them, because the thing is, dogs read body language first. Okay, so for example, if I have a little puppy, he does something that I don't expect, I just say nope, walk over to him calmly, and then handle the situation how I normally handle the situation, versus running to the dog, hollering no, making the dog all submissive and things like that. Now every time I get up out of my seat, the dog is ready to take off running.
So all these things affect the outcome of creating a protection dog.
Absolutely.
Correct.
Sure.
Yeah, because when you have a puppy for the protection dog, like a lot of stuff, a lot of behaviors, you kind of got to let it go away. I mean, let it the dog get away with first for a little bit. For example, the chewing on the pants leg. Most people get frustrated and try to bop the dog. You can't do that and then expect the dog to bite later on and not have any issues.
When another man is swinging his hands at him, now he's
exactly, he's flinching. Now the thing is, I'm not saying let the dog do it all the way till he's 5 or 6 months old. Okay, it has to be a shutout period, and like the saying goes, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. Okay, to kind of curb the association for wanting to bite on your leg. Maybe transfer something else, give him a tug or something like that. But it's a whole lot of different ways and methods you can go about it.
Yeah, because you can mentally screw a puppy up. They have a bad experience. Puppies should always be, happy, having fun. When someone hit their dog, and some people think by hitting the dog, they discipline the dog. And then those same people they'll come and want to get their dog trained for protection. But it's mental to that pup. He's young and he got hit with a newspaper or a stick or something. And now when you get into protection work, you pick up a slugger stick or something, you're getting ready to, overhand threat, the dog don't want don't want no parts of it, because in his mind, he still envision, hey, every time I seen that, man, that was a bad experience. I don't want no parts of it, so you have to be
a lot of times when we get dogs and like we evaluate dogs, just those little simple things like that. When we raise our hand and the dog go down flinching, we pretty much know that they probably been hitting on the dog.
Yeah.
Because it's automatically being submissive.
He shouldn't even have no response to that.
Right, exactly.
Right, unless he's been hit
or
too much.
Or
he
not
got bad nerves.
Yeah,
too.
you
Like,
can have bad
nerves. Now that's something different, but.
Like you can have bad nerves not being exposed and things like that, because you have some dogs who love women. And then they see a male presence in that posture and don't want nothing to do with it. And nothing has ever happened to that dog. He just, the body presence is too much and it shut the dog down. The dog doesn't want anything to do with it. So you get a lot of that stuff in a litter as well.
All of that stuff, it really plays a part.
It plays a lot. So that's why experience comes in.
Masculine smell versus feminine.
Yeah, that's why a lot of experience come in play. okay, by picking up the dogs and stuff like that. Because if you just go picking off because the dog is big, this puppy has a nice color and things like that, you're ignoring a whole list of warning signs and red flags, okay? So the thing is don't even worry about how the dog looks. Like, administer certain different tests and things like that. Because, yeah, he might be big and pretty, but as soon as you raise your hand, he kind of flinching.
How should we pick a protection dog? How should a person on the outside that is not a dog trainer, that wants to get a protection dog, and they're looking at a litter of dogs?
Really, when you're looking at a litter of puppies, all you can mainly go by is prey drive and making sure the dog have good nerves and not, things like that. But at that age, that's the reason why we start early with the early, environmental stuff. We may have a pool with a bunch of water bottles in it and exposing it, throw food inside, the puppy goes inside. So all that stuff helps the puppy out, as he grows,
this dog!
especially when you start talking about
Get your dog!
protection. Has to be sound, well balanced, good nerve. Genetics by far.
I know y'all named what y'all favorite protection dogs are. I don't know if that still is like what your favorite dog is in general, or that's just a favorite protection dog. Do you have a favorite dog that may not be a protection dog? Or is it a dog that you really like that is not a protection dog?
I like it's crazy they see big tall dude walk around with a little Frenchie, but I kind of like the Frenchies.
Yeah.
They're pretty cool.
That's probably about the only dog I can say. Nah. See, with me, like all my dogs, no matter if it's protection or what, it gotta work. So like, I hunt. So I had blackmouth curs, catahoulas. Like they gonna do some type of work with me. Like, so I like different breeds, but I like different working breeds.
Okay, you want to enjoy them too.
Yeah. I don't just want a pet dog. I want a pet and a working dog.
Or something that's gonna make some money.
Yeah,
Basically.
Frenchie.
Exactly.
The Frenchie, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
Everybody
saying.
like a Frenchie.
Right? Either you gotta work or you gotta make some money.
Exactly.
So it's
One or
just
the
not sitting up free food,
Nah.
sucking up the AC.
Yeah, you finna go catch these hoes out here.
See, I'm training a child right now, and when I was a kid, I used to like childs.
Yeah.
Now I haven't touched a child in a long time, so it's
Yeah.
just kind of like.
Yeah, I used to have one.
So it's a little puppy, about 13 weeks old, and it made me mad. I kind of want a child. It was just a phase,
Right.
But
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Man, I haven't seen the child in
It's
forever.
a long, right?
That's what
Especially like it's like a real,
it's a real child.
Yeah,
purple
that's what I'm
tongue.
about to say.
Purple tongue,
Yeah, really.
real child.
Nice.
I was telling the person, even as trainers, we don't see him.
Now, you really don't.
Yeah.
Nobody asked you to train one. I probably had one coming to my facility 4 years ago,
Right,
3
right.
years ago.
Wow.
So, Tone, you got a favorite dog?
Favorite dog. I mean, different from the Mal.
Yeah, outside of a protection dog.
I like those Labradoodles.
You don't give them no love. You don't give them no love for the Labradoodle?
Oh yeah, I like them, man. They nice.
I think they good dogs though.
Yeah, man.
I just think they good dogs.
What's wrong with that? Everybody like what they like.
Yeah.
I like a Labradoodle. I've been working a lot on it. I kind of been saying to myself,
You
I
see
think I
good
may
traits
want
in
one
them.
for that. Yeah.
You see
I
good
like-
traits
I
in
like-
them.
Yeah.
Hey, but
I see
like
good
we
traits
say
in them
about
too.
them Frenchies, that's some money.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Now Labrador is cool. Like, no, honestly, like a good, well-bred one with good character. No, they some good dogs.
They are good dogs.
But the thing is, you have to get them out. Just like any other dog, if you keep them in the house, they get spoiled, act like little babies, and then it makes the experience of owning one not as pleasurable. But I've definitely had some ones that that I like. So
Yeah, that's a secret dog that a lot of
Yeah,
trainers
for
like
sure.
they ain't gonna say it, but Tone said it.
yeah, right.
And I go back again.
He
and
just
say,
caught me
man,
off guard with that
yeah,
one.
yeah.
He just caught me off guard with that one,
I
but it's all
would've
good. Yeah, I'm thinking he gonna say
I
another
would've
dog or
never thought he
something,
was-
but he just like Labradoodle.
Yeah, I do. I love Labradoodles, man. He's some nice dogs.
Pretty cool.
I
You
mean,
ain't never seen one,
it's
Tone?
I don't
still
think I seen
it's
him.
still in the protection phase, but I still like them giant schnauzers too, though.
Yeah, for like a little, not an off breed, but like a little different breed to try to switch
Yeah.
it up a little bit for protection. Like those probably like my number one, like
Yeah.
like a good schnauzer. Because the thing is, it's the element of surprise.
Yeah.
Like a person that don't know that dog, they'll just think it's a big giant poodle.
They think it's a Labradoodle.
Yeah,
You know what
right?
I'm saying?
True, them
Yeah,
Labradors,
yeah,
they won't
yeah.
do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Until
they
you
work.
say they come in and they get lit up. You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
not definitely one of my favorites too. Okay.
I appreciate having y'all. I appreciate the discussion.
Yes, sir. Yes,
You
sir.
know.
Thanks for having us out.
For sure.